What is going on, guys? Rodney here with Crypto Bros. Welcome to today's video. Today we're talking about my three favorite picks heading into the second half of 2018. And I will tell you what those are now, just in case you do want to shut off the video. They are Zilliqa, Rchain, and Nebulas. But before you turn this off, let me preface this by saying a couple things. One, it is very hard to narrow down three in the whole cryptocurrency space, especially considering we have so many different asset classes and like categories to choose from, right? We have like Internet of Things, peer-to-peer transactions, payment gateways, infrastructures, standalone blockchains, all these different categories that these projects can fall in. So picking three is very difficult. And then two, the other thing before you shut this off is that the three that I picked don't quite have some of the same hype and marketing backing that some of these other great projects have. Like right now, if we think about like what's hot, right? EOS, Neo is always hot. Rchain is usually towards the top. Icon has caught a ton of hype lately. So there's a lot on, same with Ontology, right? So there's a ton of projects that have this type of crazy hype surrounding it, and as a result, they're seeing crazy amount of price action. So you get good hype, good marketing with a great project, you see good price action. So a couple arguments you guys are going to make with some of these coins that I have, but specifically being my first one, which is Zilliqa, is that if we kind of go down, it's sitting at number 29, actually. We'll just swing down here really quick. If we go down, one thing to note is it just broke the $1 billion market cap price point this week, well, within the last 7 days before this dip. So people are going to say, okay, look, it's a $1 billion market cap. It's currently at 13 cents, which is really just coming out of kind of like an ICO stage. Like when this hit the markets, we were at like 14 cents. So we're just back up to break even. So from everyone who kind of jumped in initially on the ICO. And then two, the other point that they're going to make is, look, man, there's a ton of circulating supply and total supply out there currently. How much higher can this price go when we're already at a $1 billion market cap? So I get that. I totally get that. Some of you guys are going to disagree with me there. But, they've had some good things coming out lately. Notably, their testnet. They've got their mainnet coming out in the later part of 2018. But really what I wanted to touch on is the fact that they are working on a next level, very high throughput blockchain. They're saying, look, basically if we can nail this blockchain and it can do tons and tons and tons of transactions per second, we can have a whole new type of DApp being built on this platform, like the next Facebook, someone that can do tons of transactions or tons of processes per second. So that is really what their goal is. And while I get, that's very ambitious as a lot of these projects, I do think with what they have going on, it is achievable. Some things that are going to turn people off to this pick are, one, in the last 30 days, it's up 222%. Within the last 90 days, again, it is up 150%. Still down from its all-time high, but again, people are not going to like the fact that it just broke a $1 billion market cap, and the amount of tokens is also very high. So it's an interesting pick. And here's just an article that came out. Sorry about that. An article that came out. With over 40% rise, Zilliqa surpasses top 10 coins. So basically what it says is, look, there are some great partnerships that are going on right now with Zilliqa. They broke the $1 billion market cap, and this is the second Singapore project to do that behind Quantum. So, there could be some arguments there made why this wouldn't be a good pick, but I do think they are just now getting going, considering the current price point is very similar to when it first debuted on the exchanges. Granted, it is on Binance now, which is good for the long-term, price point of this token. But before that, I think it was only on Gate and maybe KuCoin. I'm not sure on that KuCoin. I didn't look it up. I sound like an idiot. So anyway, that is Zilliqa. Number two, I've also done a review video on Rchain, and while they have a nice YouTube platform, a lot of updates, a lot of things that they publish out there, again, there's not a lot of hype surrounding this project. Again, this is another very high throughput blockchain that's working with their own virtual machine, very similar to Zilliqa in that they're doing their own sharding process to be able to process and transact a ton of different things that would go on their blockchain. Again, their overarching view is like, look, if we can nail this, there's a whole new line of dApps projects that can be built on top of this because of how fast we can transact these different processes. So anyway, super interesting point here. What I do like about this project is, one, we're already at $1. We're at $1.81, which is right around the price point that I got in at that I got in on. In the last 30 days, we're up basically 100%, and we're not, and really there isn't a ton of retracement from the all-time high. So we're basically $3.15. We're going to call it roughly a 50% retracement on there. So it's not like it has to do 10x to get back to its all-time high. And the nice thing about that is with having such a shorter climb, a lot of times when we can break through that all-time high resistance, like there's a nice run coming after that. And a couple things to note here: market cap, we're basically 650 million. Good 24-hour volume, and this isn't even on a great exchanges yet. This is on Gate and this is on KuCoin, and what we've seen, especially on like KuCoin, anytime there's some type of dip in the market, like those coins on there get slaughtered. So very interesting aspect there. But then also a couple things to note: circulating supply 360 million, total supply we're under the $1 billion. Or actually, we're right at the billion. I didn't mean to say $1 billion. We're right at the billion token mark with just a total supply of 870. So there's still some tokens out there to be made. And again, some very cool things coming out in the later half of 2018 and 2019. Like right now, like these guys don't even have a full-on ready to roll high transacting blockchain. I think that doesn't happen until, actually it should tell us right down here, it doesn't happen until 8 months. So their main net is not until 8 months from now. So in terms of like a accumulation play and a patience play, this could be a very great pickup. I'm a big fan. I've covered this before. It's actually one of my worst performing videos that I've ever done. And again, it's just because people aren't searching for it. People don't care about it. And what I find interesting about this, I mean, there are some that care about that, so it's kind of bold, is like, this is a top 50 coin, and it's not like I see the internet or YouTube or people just blasting out videos, right? There's a bazillion videos on Icon, on Rchain, on Neo, on some of these other projects, Ontology. Not very many people cover Rchain, but I think with patience and time, this could be a real winner, especially if they're able to accomplish what they're set out to do. So anyway, last but not least is Nebulas. Similar like out. I think it's 65 here. Yeah, 65. Similar outlook on Nebulas, right? It's on Gate.io. It doesn't get a ton of press. It doesn't have a lot of hype surrounding it. Yes, there's some big names in there. Korean Jew like Snas, a couple other guys, push it. But again, not a ton of hype surrounding this coin. Not a ton of YouTubers doing this. And some things that I do think that it has going for it is, yes, it is at a current price point of $9.50 per token, but we have a super low market cap of basically, a third of $1 billion and a circulating and very low supply of only basically 35 million tokens. So I find that very interesting in terms of an ROI standpoint and in terms of like a capitalizing long term. Total supply here, 100 million, and that's not a lot, especially when we're, it may be compared to like a Bitcoin or something like that, but if we look at like Neo, I think Neo's is very close to this as well. So I think there's a ton of room for this to run. In the last, we'll say 30 to 90 days, it's up over 100%. In the last 50%, still down 57% from their all-time high at $16.23. But again, a lot of times when we see these projects reaching new all-time highs, we typically see, and it doesn't happen every time, but we typically see a very nice run after it breaks the all-time high resistance. So that's something to keep in mind. Not to mention, like, this coin just scores very, very well. I have covered this once before in a short video. This is like a, they call it the Google of blockchain, which is very interesting. But again, very, very strong project for a long-term hold with some patience. And once this starts gaining some traction, getting some things going in terms of exchanges and partnerships and stuff, like very, very cool. It did have a mainnet launch not long ago. It has a couple of events in the short day and next upcoming days. God, sorry guys, butchered that. So MIT meetup in 2 days, Consensus, which is May 14th. Has been a big ordeal. I don't know what's going to go on in that aspect. If you aren't sure what Consensus is, I made a video on it. It's actually it looks like this right here. This is just a very huge blockchain event that they have. In the past, they've kind of considered this the catalyst or the kickoff to a bull run, the biggest blockchain/crypto event usually of the year. So very interesting. Also, guys, sorry I didn't say this earlier, but if you haven't had a chance to subscribe, all you got to do is hit that subscribe button. Anyway, so yeah, guys, those are my top 3 picks. I think with some patience and with some accumulation trading, which I like to do, I like to grab stuff when it's not cool, when it's not popular, and then just wait it out. You know, could be 6 months, could be a year, could be longer. I don't know. Maybe it flops, so they are a risk. But these are 3 that I like currently. I'm hoping in time that there is some type of, you know, marketing hype surrounding these projects. So maybe, you know, NAS does turn into the next icon. So there's a bazillion YouTubers talking about it, and we can see some positive price actions here. But at current price point of 10 bucks, I think this kind of leaves a ton of room for ROI, especially based on market cap and total and circulating supply. So very interesting picks from me today. If you agree, that's great. If you don't, no sweat here, guys. I fully understand that there are a ton of quality projects out there currently. So dialing it down to 3 is very tough to do. But that is all I have for you guys today. Thank you for tuning in. I will be back again shortly. I don't know when. I've got some traveling to do. I am going to go jump in this pool here, not my normal shooting location, visiting some family. So anyway, guys, have a great day, and I will check you later.